Hey guys, Chad here. Just want to talk today about bars and plates. Kind of explain the differences between them. Not everybody's familiar with lifting, so there's a lot of stuff over here, and this may be confusing to some people. First of all, we have metal plates. Now, the big metal plates you would use only for things you wouldn't drop the bar ever on. Maybe deadlift, bench press, shoulder presses, back squat. So that's the metal plates. You never ever want to drop a bar with these metal plates on it. Second, we have the rubber plates. These are for Olympic lifting. They were designed and built for Olympic lifting. Olympic lifting is clean and jerk and snatch. So those are both lifts where you're going to be dropping the weight, the bar potentially. If you fail on a clean and jerk or a snatch, you don't want to have to hold on to the bar. You want to be able to drop the bar and get it as far away from you as possible. So that's where these come in. They are rubber, they bounce, so you can drop them from even overhead and it won't ruin the bar. So that doesn't mean they're indestructible, but for most cases they can be dropped. That would include anything that is an accessory to the Olympic lifts. So front squat, overhead squat, snatch deadlifts, pulls, muscle cleans, whatever it is that is Olympic lifting related, you want to use these plates. So definitely with these, try to have as few plates on the bar as possible all the time. You do not want to stack a bunch of small weights on there. These metal plates, I know I said they're never to be used when you're dropping weight, but the 5s, the 2.5s, and sometimes even the 10s, you would use every once in a while. But again, you would only have one of these, maybe in the rare case where you have a set of 5s and a set of 2.5s on there, but you would never have more than that on one side of the bar. And you definitely never want to add a bunch of heavy metal plates with a light rubber plate. You'll see that too. You'll see like a set of 10s being put on there, which is very thin, and then you have like 2 10s stacked on there with it. This plate now has to take the load of 30 pounds, right, on that side, instead of the 10 pounds that it was designed for. So you definitely don't want to do that. You need to upgrade to a heavier rubber plate, like a 25, which is way thicker, can handle 25 pounds with no problem. Slap a 5 on there. Now you've got the same weight as what we just had with that last set. Lastly, with the plates, we have these green training plates. These are made out of hard plastic. These are definitely not indestructible. In fact, you can see this one's cracked. These are meant to be used by themselves only with limited dropping. They are not meant to be used for CrossFit workouts where you're like Grace, where you're dropping the bar 30 times in a row, all right? This is meant to be used for training Olympic lifts where you might have to bail, but you're using light weights, so you're probably not bailing on purpose on a regular basis. So kind of an emergency thing. And you definitely never want to add any other weight to this because it will not be able to handle it, they will break, and they are very expensive. These also do not work even with rubber plates. They are the same size, and a lot of people will like to use them to add 5 pounds. Do not do that. Instead, use the 5-pound metal plate, the change plate, because what happens is, this is hard plastic, this is softer plastic, or rubber. When the bar hits the ground, this rubber compresses. This does not compress, so all the weight gets transferred to this, and this is only made to support the 5 pounds that it is. So now it is supporting, again, all of the weight, and it will break. All right, We have a guide over here. They're all color-coded. Actually, we haven't color-coded these yet, but any of these that say Rogue are red bars. These are 45 pounds. They are men's bars. Technically, they're 20 kilograms. That's really how they're weighed, which is technically 44 pounds. But if you add the clips to it, it's 45 pounds. These are men's bars. We have then the purple, which are 33 pounds technically. So if you add half-pound plates on each side and a set of clips, you now have 35 pounds. These are technically women's bars, not just because they're lighter, but because the shaft here is thinner. It's a thinner diameter than the men's bar. Women generally have smaller hands, so smaller bar is needed to be able to hold on to the bar well enough to do the Olympic lifts and get that hook grip, which we're always talking about. These are the junior bars. They are 22 pounds, and you add a pound plate on each side and a set of clips, and now you're at 25 pounds, which is easier to count. It's the same shaft as the women's bar, same diameter. Kids generally use these to train with. We like them because they are lighter. We can train lighter weights with them. They have a shorter collar here, so you can't load as much weight on them. You really shouldn't be going crazy with these anyway. If you're putting crazy amounts of weight on here, you need to step up and go to the actual women's bar. Lastly, we have these training bars, which are actually technically designed for kids also, but we like them because they're only 15 pounds. They are made out of aluminum. These are made out of steel. These are made out of aluminum. Aluminum is, in this case, much more fragile, and this can take hardly any weight at all. So at most, you're going to want to do 10 pounds on each side, maybe 15 pounds on each side. Probably training plates, the green ones we talked about. They are not meant to be loaded up with anything more than a 15-pound plate on each side, ever. They can break, they will break. They are just not designed for that. So these are for super lightweight training only. And then lastly, we have these, which are 2-inch steel pipes with collars on them. They are fat bars. The reason you would use these is because it's 2 inches in diameter. You can see the huge difference. Holding on to this bar is much harder. You've got spinning collars here, you have no spinning collar here. So when you rotate the bar, the weight has to go with it, which makes it way harder. This is more of a strongman kind of implement, and it will definitely tax your grip, which means it will help you build your grip. It's just a different tool for a different application. You're definitely not going to want to do Olympic lifting with this, typically. So anyway, that's the fat bar. And I believe these are 20 pounds, the fat bars. These here, fractional plates. You got 1 pound, half pound, quarter pound, no, these are 3/4 pound, and then quarter pound. And these are actually just giant washers, but they are half pound. So they're all used to get smaller adjustments. So you don't have to take a 5-pound jump. You can go up by half a pound if you want to at the lowest. So this is great when you're really trying to break through into a new area, but you're having trouble making the 5-pound jump. That's it. See you later.